Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Bill and Frantz show. Today, you see we sporting the Cardinals gear, and we got the red and white on. The Cardinals won the World Series. Woo! We'll be right back for a great show for you. Woo! Let's do this. Man, we want to welcome Seth Weissman to the show right here. Guy in the middle, cool, good looking, Fonzie type guy, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to go ahead and welcome him to the show. The Cardinals kicked butt yesterday.
Gentlemen, they did, indeed.
You know?
Give it up.
Nice, well done.
You know? And so how do y'all feel about that?
Enthralled, I would say. That is inspired, I would say. Once the adjectives leap to mind. Bill?
Well, you know, I must say, and it's not because I'm a fair weather friend, and maybe I know, but I've always been a Red Sox fan first and Cardinals fan second. But this season, not just because the Cardinals won and the Red Sox lost on its own level, but the way they won and the way they lost, I'm thinking, I don't know,
Very interesting.
I feel maybe I might have to switch to 1 and 2.
Is there a shift? A possible disturbance in the force?
Possible sea change.
Very interesting.
And you heard it first here.
They handled their business, man. The Cardinals handled their business. But I got to be honest. You remember in earlier shows I told you, I'm from Texas. So I'm in the middle because I'm excited that Texas might win one. Of course, they didn't now, we know. But I was thinking at that time, I was excited they might win. But at the same time, I live in St. Louis, so I'm going for the Cardinals. So during the game, I'm sitting there screaming for both teams. My wife walks in, who are you going for? Both of them. She looked at me like, oh, you're crazy.
Okay, so David Freese,
David
Yes.
Freese.
David Freese, the MVP of the World Series.
As well as of the League Championship Series, which I don't think has happened very often, where you've got the same guy who's the MVP of the NLCS and the LCS and the World Series.
Right.
He was incredible. I mean, his performance was one for the ages. It's really going to be remarkable to look back on. I think here we sit on October the 29th, gentlemen, I believe.
Sure.
And let's go with that. And the day after the Cardinals have won that World Series. And I think it's just starting to sink in the magnitude of what they did. David Freese, yes, as we were just talking about, the Cardinals were down to their last strike, 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 runners on, bottom of the 9th, game 6. Could have been over.
Hometown kid came through.
2-run triple, ties it up. They were down again in the 10th. Lance Berkman saved them, and then Freese wins it with a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 11th.
Well,
first team in baseball history to be down twice to their last strike, their very last breath, if you will, of survival. And yet, to win the championship and exhale the next day, I would like to send this out to the 2011 St. Louis Cardinals.
Woo! All right.
good job, good job.
And this series wasn't just great. And see, Game 6 wasn't the only great game.
That's very true.
Game 3 had its own special amount of history there with the David Pujols joining Babe Ruth and Reggie Jackson and nobody else.
Albert Pujols. We didn't mean to say David Pujols.
We just have a lot of David on the mind right now.
Yeah. Albert made
We're a little excited.
Yeah, that David Pujols is such a jerk.
Yeah,
I didn't want to make any mistakes.
We're talking about Albert's brother. That's on that. But Albert he handled his business. He made history. He made it with was it Reggie Jackson?
Reggie Jackson
and Babe Ruth.
Yes.
3 home runs, only players in Major League history to hit 3 home runs in a World Series game. But when you put all the numbers together, Albert's performance in Game 3, single best offensive performance by a hitter in baseball history in a World Series game. 3 home runs, tied the record. 5 hits, tied the record. 6 RBIs, tied the record. 14 total bases when you add up the bases from his home runs and his 2 singles.
But
the record.
But we also got to give it to Texas, though. They made history by walking so many people. I thought I was going to walk a time.
Walk them home, walk them home!
It was a charity walk. They should give us charity, but we took it.
But like I said, I'm from Texas. I know y'all did some walking, but hey, congratulations for what y'all did. But the Cardinals are the champions.
The Cardinals are the champions, and I just got to say one more time, really, the way, as Bill was saying, the way they won it is really unparalleled in my history of being a sports fan. I gotta say, I've been on this planet for a couple of decades. A few of those I've been watching baseball, just a couple. And I've never seen a team that their resiliency, their character of refusing to give up in any situation. I mean, it was really exemplified and magnified in Game 6. I think a lot of people are just going to be talking about Game 6 of the series as being a microcosm of their season in terms of being able to pull themselves off the scrap heap, to use that term, but it was just remarkable. I'm still, I still get goosebumps thinking about Game 6.
Game 6, no, Game 6 was off the chain because, you know, one thing about the Cardinals fans, I've never seen them as quiet as a church mouse. I'm telling you. But in Game 6, it was like either you're holding your breath or you're breathing. It's like you're exhaling. It's like, are we gonna win this? Oh my God, we're gonna win this! Oh. It was emotional. It was emotional. But to get to Game 7, they kicked butt. And they took it, man.
They took it. They took it. No one thought this team would even be in the playoffs. It's not even just a question of coming back a couple of times miraculously in games. They were 10.5 games out on, I believe, August the 25th. They were 8.5 games out in the beginning of September. No team had ever even reached the World Series or the playoffs, I believe, with that kind of deficit. To make that up, to get into the playoffs on the very last day, no one gave them a chance to win the first series, or the second, or even when they got to the World Series. It was a nice run. They'll never beat Texas.
Look at this, Vegas.
Shaw, I said. Shaw.
Those are strong words.
I know. You gotta hold me back.
Vegas wasn't really ready for this. You know, Vegas wasn't ready. You know, the Beatles was out there. Who's gonna win it? Vegas. Hey, the Cardinals shocked everybody, man.
They shocked
everybody.
No question.
The Texas Rangers lost. They lost the World Series at the end of Game 6. They were deflated.
They were.
Then they came in on Game 7 looking so defeated, walking on the mound. I mean, looking really sad, walking up on the mound, looking like, you know, I mean, nervous, you know. And the Cardinals came out so relaxed. They interviewed Tony La Russa. I mean, the dude was sitting back in his chair relaxing, smiling, and, I mean, having pina coladas and everything. You know, it was chilling. You knew they were going to win.
Boy, gentlemen, I just can't get over it. It really was an incredibly remarkable, inspiring run. I think it embodies, to me, this embodies like everything that you would want a baseball team, a sports team that you follow to bring to a community, to bring to individuals, the sense that you are never, you know, that you should never give up, and you should never quit. You can always keep going. And these Cardinals believed in themselves to a degree that is going to go down in the history books.
That's one thing La Russa said in an interview last night. He was like, you know, in every inning you play, you can win the game or lose the game in that one inning.
My pleasure.
All right.
Dylan Frantz Show.
Peace.
Take it.